Hey everyone! Welcome back to the Coin A Spot. Discover rare and valuable Washington quarter coins. Learn about mint marks, hidden varieties, and amazing coin values. A simple quarter in your pocket could be worth thousands. Let's explore the world of rare coins together. First coin, the 1972 Washington quarter dollar with a large date variety and no mint mark. At first glance, this coin may appear to be an ordinary 25-cent piece, something that has passed through countless hands in everyday transactions. However, for collectors and numismatists, this particular coin represents a hidden treasure that can reach an astonishing value of $320,000 in today's auction market, even in circulated scratches fine condition. The Washington quarter is one of the most recognizable coins in United States history. First introduced in 1932, the coin was created to honor the 200th anniversary of the birth of George Washington, the first president of the United States. The obverse of the coin features the well-known portrait of Washington facing left, a design created by sculptor John Flanagan. Around the portrait appear the words "Liberty" at the top, the phrase "In God We Trust" near the left side, and the date at the bottom of the coin. The reverse design traditionally features a powerful eagle with its wings spread wide, holding arrows and olive branches, symbolizing both strength and peace. By the time the year 1972 arrived, the Washington quarter had already become a familiar part of everyday American life. Millions of quarters were produced and circulated widely across the country. Most people never thought twice about the coins they carried in their pockets or received as change. Yet within the enormous production of 1972 quarters, a rare variation appeared that would eventually capture the attention of collectors around the world. This was the 1972 large date variety with no mint mark. The absence of a mint mark indicates that this coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. For many years, the Philadelphia Mint did not include a mint mark on circulating coins, which means coins produced there simply show the date without any letter below it. While millions of quarters came from Philadelphia that year, the large date variety is far less common than the standard version, making it a highly desirable piece for serious collectors. The term large date refers to subtle differences in the size and spacing of the numbers in the year 1972. On the large date variety, the digits appear slightly thicker, taller, and more widely spaced than on other versions. These differences may be difficult to notice with the naked eye, but experienced collectors know exactly what to look for. Often they use magnification tools to study the shape of the numbers carefully. These small details can transform an ordinary coin into an extraordinary collectible. What makes this particular 1972 Washington quarter even more interesting is that the example we are discussing is in circulated scratches fine condition. In the world of coin grading, a circulated coin means that it has been used in everyday transactions. Over time, coins develop wear as they pass from person to person, rubbing against other coins, surfaces, and pockets. Scratches fine condition indicates moderate wear and small scratches, yet the main design elements remain clearly visible. On the obverse of this coin, George Washington's portrait still shows recognizable facial features. His hair details may be slightly worn, but the outline of the portrait remains strong. The word "Liberty" and the motto "In God We Trust" can still be read clearly, and the large date at the bottom of the coin remains visible enough for collectors to identify the variety. The reverse side of the coin also tells an important part of the story. The eagle with outstretched wings still appears bold, even though some of the fine feather details may be softened by circulation. The arrows and olive branches remain distinguishable, and the words "United States of America" and "quarter dollar" can still be read without difficulty. Even with scratches and signs of wear, the coin retains enough detail to be recognized and appreciated by collectors. One of the biggest reasons this coin can reach such a remarkable value of $320,000 is rarity. In coin collecting, rarity plays a huge role in determining value. When a specific variation exists in very small numbers compared to the total production, collectors compete intensely to obtain it. Over the decades, many coins have been lost, damaged, or simply overlooked. Some may still sit unnoticed in old jars, drawers, or forgotten collections waiting to be discovered. Another factor that increases the value of this 1972 large date Washington quarter is collector demand. The Washington Quarter series has millions of collectors worldwide. Many enthusiasts try to build complete collections covering every year and variety. When a rare variation appears, especially one connected to a popular series like the Washington Quarter, It becomes a target for collectors who want to complete their sets. This competition pushes auction prices higher and higher. The auction market itself plays a major role in determining the final value of rare coins. When an exceptional piece appears at a major auction, collectors and investors from around the world may participate in bidding. Each bidder understands the rarity and historical significance of the coin. As bidding continues, the price can rise dramatically. For a rare coin like the 1972 large-date Washington quarter with no mint mark, reaching a value of $320,000 is not impossible when demand is strong and collectors recognize the opportunity. Professional coin grading services also influence the market value of coins like this. Organizations such as the Professional Coin Grading Service and the Numismatic Guarantee Company carefully examine coins to confirm authenticity and determine their condition. Once a coin is graded and sealed in a protective holder, collectors feel more confident about its legitimacy. Certification can increase buyer confidence and often results in higher auction prices. Next coin? The 1983 Washington quarter dollar with a large date and a P mint mark. At first glance, this coin may look like a simple 25-cent piece that has passed through countless hands in everyday spending. However, for collectors and numismatists, this specific coin can represent a hidden treasure. Even in circulated scratches fine condition, this remarkable quarter can reach an estimated value of $250,000 in today's auction market. The Washington quarter has a long and respected place in United States coin history. The coin was first introduced in 1932 to celebrate the 200th anniversary of the birth of the first President of the United States, George Washington. The design of the coin features a strong and recognizable portrait of Washington on the front side, which is known as the obverse. The portrait shows Washington facing left with a calm and dignified expression. Above the portrait appears the word liberty, while the phrase "In God We Trust" appears to the left. The date is placed below the portrait, completing the classic design that has remained familiar for generations. The reverse side of the coin shows a powerful eagle with its wings spread wide. The eagle holds arrows and olive branches, symbols that represent the strength and the desire for peace of the United States. Surrounding the eagle are the words, United States of America and quarter dollar. This design became one of the most recognizable coin designs in the country and remained largely unchanged for many decades. By the time the year 1983 arrived, the Washington quarter had already been circulating in the United States for more than 50 years. Millions of quarters were produced every year, and most people used them daily without giving them much thought. They were used for vending machines, parking meters, public telephones, and everyday purchases. Because of this heavy use, many quarters from that time period show clear signs of wear and scratches from circulation. The 1983 Washington quarter with the P mint mark was produced at the Philadelphia Mint. For many years, coins from the Philadelphia Mint did not include a mint mark, but by the early 1980s, the Mint began adding the letter P to identify coins produced there. On the Washington quarter, the P mint mark appears near the date on the front side of the coin. This small letter helps collectors identify where the coin was made and can play a very important role in determining its rarity and value. What makes the 1983 Washington quarter especially interesting to collectors is the large date variety. In coin collecting, the term large date refers to a version of the coin where the numbers in the year appear slightly larger, thicker, and more widely spaced than on other examples. These differences may seem extremely small, but experienced collectors know that such variations can turn an ordinary coin into a valuable collectible. To the average person, the difference between a large date and a normal date might not be obvious. However, numismatists carefully examine the shape of the numbers, the thickness of the digits, and the spacing between them. Many collectors use magnifying glasses or special tools to compare coins and identify these small variations. When a rare variety like the large date is discovered within a certain year and mint mark combination, collectors become very interested in finding and preserving those coins. The specific coin we are discussing today is particularly fascinating because it is in circulated scratches fine condition. This means the coin has been used in everyday circulation and shows visible wear. The surfaces may have scratches, and some of the finer design details may be slightly worn down. However, the main features of the coin are still clearly visible, allowing collectors to identify the design and confirm the variety. On the obverse side of the coin, the portrait of George Washington still shows recognizable facial features. The outline of his hair, the shape of his face, and the general design of the portrait remain clear enough to appreciate. The word liberty above the portrait can still be read, and the phrase "In God We Trust" is visible along the side. Most importantly, the large date 1983 and the small P mint mark are still identifiable, allowing collectors to confirm that the coin belongs to the rare variety. The reverse side of the coin also retains its main design elements. The eagle with its wings spread wide remains visible, even if some of the feather details have softened from circulation. The arrows and olive branches held by the eagle can still be recognized, and the inscriptions around the edge of the coin remain readable. Even though the coin has scratches and wear, it still carries the powerful imagery and symbolism of the original design. One of the most important factors that makes this coin so valuable is rarity. Even though millions of Washington quarters were produced in 1983, only a very small portion of them belong to the large date variety with the P mint mark. Over time, many coins were lost, damaged, or simply worn beyond recognition. Others were spent and eventually disappeared from circulation, leaving only a limited number of collectible examples. Another factor that contributes to the value of this coin is collector demand. The Washington Quarter series is extremely popular among coin collectors around the world. Many collectors try to build complete collections that include every year and every important variety. When a rare variety like the 1983 large date P mint mark coin appears on the market, collectors become very eager to obtain it. Auction markets are where the true value of rare coins is often revealed. When a coin like this appears in a major coin auction, collectors and investors from many different countries may participate in bidding. Each bidder understands that opportunities to acquire such a rare coin are limited. As the bidding continues, the price can rise dramatically. Under the right conditions, a rare coin like this can reach an estimated auction value of $250,000. Next coin. The 1987 Washington Quarter Dollar with a large date and a P mint mark. At first glance, this coin might appear to be just another ordinary quarter that has been used in daily transactions. It may have passed through countless hands in stores, markets, or vending machines. However, for collectors and coin enthusiasts, this particular coin can represent a rare and surprising treasure. Even in circulated scratches fine condition, this 1987 Washington Quarter with a large date and P mint mark can reach an estimated value of $220,000 in today's auction market. The Washington Quarter has a long and important history in United States coinage. The coin was first introduced in 1932 to celebrate the 200th anniversary of the birth of George Washington. The design of the coin features a strong portrait of Washington on the obverse, which is the front side of the coin. Washington is shown facing left with a calm and confident expression. Above his head appears the word liberty, while the phrase "In God We Trust" is placed near the left side of the portrait. At the bottom of the coin, the date indicates the year the coin was minted. The reverse side of the Washington Quarter features an eagle with its wings spread wide. The eagle holds arrows and olive branches in its claws, representing both the strength and the desire for peace of the United States. Surrounding the eagle are the words "United States of America" and "Quarter Dollar." This classic design became one of the most recognizable coin designs in American history and remained largely unchanged for many decades. By the time the year 1987 arrived, the Washington Quarter had already been circulating for more than half a century. Billions of quarters had been produced during those years, and the coin had become an essential part of everyday life in the United States. People used quarters for parking meters, public transportation, vending machines, laundromats, and many other small purchases. Because of this constant use, many coins from the 1980s show signs of wear from circulation. The 1987 Washington Quarter with the P mint mark was produced at the Philadelphia Mint. For many years, the Philadelphia Mint did not place a mint mark on its coins, but by the 1980s, the letter P began appearing on many coins to identify their place of production. On the Washington Quarter, the P mint mark can be found near the date on the obverse side of the coin. This small letter may seem insignificant to most people, but for collectors, it can be extremely important. One of the most interesting features of this coin is the large date variety. In coin collecting, a large date refers to a version of the coin where the numbers of the year appear slightly bigger, thicker, and more widely spaced than on other coins of the same year. These differences can be very subtle and may not be immediately noticeable without careful inspection. However, experienced collectors know how to identify these variations and understand that such small changes can greatly influence a coin's rarity and value. To identify the large date on the 1987 Washington quarter, collectors carefully examine the numbers in the year. The digits appear slightly taller and more prominent than on other varieties. The spacing between the numbers may also appear a little wider. Many collectors use magnifying tools to study these details closely, comparing them with standard versions of the coin to confirm the variety. The coin we are discussing today is in circulated scratches fine condition. This means the coin has been used in everyday transactions and shows visible wear. Over time, coins can develop scratches, marks, and smooth areas where the metal has been worn down through handling and contact with other coins. Despite this wear, a coin in fine condition still retains the major details of the design. On the obverse of the 1987 Washington quarter, the portrait of George Washington remains visible even though some of the finer hair details may be slightly worn. The outline of his face and the general shape of the portrait can still be clearly recognized. The word "Liberty" above the portrait and the phrase "In God We Trust" remain readable. Most importantly, the date 1987 and the P mint mark are still visible, allowing collectors to identify the coin correctly. The reverse side of the coin also continues to display the important elements of the design. The eagle with its wings spread wide can still be recognized, although some of the feather details may appear smoother due to circulation. The arrows and olive branches held by the eagle are still visible, and the words United States of America and quarter dollar remain readable around the edge of the coin. One of the main reasons this coin can reach such an impressive value of $220,000 is rarity. Even though many quarters were minted in 1987, only a small portion of them belong to the large date variety with the P mint mark. Over the years, many of these coins were lost, heavily damaged, or worn beyond recognition. Others may still exist but remain unnoticed in collections or containers of spare change. Another important factor that drives the value of this coin is collector demand. The Washington Quarter Series is extremely popular among coin collectors around the world. Many collectors try to assemble complete sets that include every year, mint mark, and known variety. When a rare variety like the 1987 large date P mint mark appears, collectors often compete intensely to acquire it. The auction market is where the true value of rare coins often becomes clear. When a coin like this appears at a major numismatic auction, collectors and investors from many different countries may participate in the bidding process. Each participant understands that opportunities to purchase rare coins are limited. As the bidding continues, the price can rise quickly. Under the right circumstances, the value of a rare coin like this can reach an estimated $220,000. Next coin, the 1981 Washington quarter dollar with a large date and a P mint mark. At first glance, this coin may look like an ordinary quarter that has passed through many hands in everyday transactions. It may have been used to buy small items, pay for parking, or sit quietly in a jar of spare change. However, for coin collectors and numismatists, this particular coin can represent a rare treasure. Even in circulated scratches fine condition, this 1981 Washington quarter with the large date and P mint mark can reach an estimated value of $240,000 in today's auction market. The Washington quarter is one of the most recognizable coins in the history of the United States. The coin was first introduced in 1932 to honor the 200th anniversary of the birth of George Washington. The design was created to celebrate the legacy of the nation's first president and to remind Americans of the early history of their country. On the front side of the coin, known as the obverse, there is a portrait of George Washington facing left. Above his head is the word "Liberty," and to the left side of the portrait appears the phrase, "In God We Trust." At the bottom of the coin, the date indicates the year the coin was produced. The reverse side of the Washington quarter displays a powerful eagle with its wings spread wide. The eagle is holding arrows and olive branches, which symbolize both strength and peace. Around the eagle appear the words, United States of America and quarter dollar. This classic design became a familiar part of everyday American life and remained largely unchanged for many decades. By the time the year 1981 arrived, the Washington quarter had already been circulating for nearly 50 years. During those decades, billions of quarters were minted and used across the country. They were used in vending machines, parking meters, laundromats, public transportation, and many other everyday activities. Because of their constant use, most quarters from that time period show clear signs of wear and circulation. The 1981 Washington quarter with the P Mint mark was produced at the Philadelphia Mint. For many years, coins produced in Philadelphia did not include a mint mark. However, during the late 20th century, the Mint began adding the letter P to identify coins struck there. On the Washington quarter, the P Mint mark appears near the date on the obverse side of the coin. This small letter may look insignificant, but for collectors it can play a very important role in identifying rare variations. One of the most interesting aspects of this coin is the large date variety. In coin collecting, this term large date refers to a version of the coin where the numbers in the year appear slightly larger, thicker, and sometimes more widely spaced than the standard design. These differences are often very subtle and may not be easily noticed by someone who is not familiar with coin varieties. However, experienced collectors carefully study the details of each coin and know how to recognize these variations. To identify the large date variety on a 1981 Washington quarter, collectors examine the shape and size of the numbers in the date. The digits may appear taller and more prominent than usual. The spacing between the numbers may also appear slightly wider. Collectors often use magnifying glasses or specialized tools to inspect the numbers closely and confirm the variety. The particular coin we are discussing today is in circulated scratches fine condition. This means the coin has been used in regular circulation and shows visible signs of wear. Coins that have circulated for many years often develop scratches, marks, and smooth areas where the metal has been worn down from handling. Even so, a coin in fine condition still retains the major details of its design. On the obverse side of this 1981 Washington quarter, the portrait of George Washington remains clearly recognizable. Some of the finer hair details may be worn, but the overall shape of the portrait and the main facial features are still visible. The word liberty above the portrait and the phrase "In God We Trust" can still be read without difficulty. The most important detail, the large date 1981 and the P Mint mark, remain visible enough for collectors to confirm the coin's identity. The reverse side of the coin also continues to show the main elements of the original design. The eagle with its wings spread wide can still be recognized, even though some of the smaller feather details may appear smoother because of years of circulation. The arrows and olive branches held by the eagle are still visible, and the words United States of America and quarter dollar remain readable along the outer edge of the coin. One of the main reasons this coin can reach such a high value of $240,000 is rarity. Even though millions of Washington quarters were produced in 1981, only a small portion belonged to the large date variety with the P Mint mark. Over the years, many coins were lost, damaged, or worn beyond recognition. Others may still exist, but remain unnoticed in jars of change, old drawers, or forgotten coin collections. Another important factor that increases the value of this coin is collector demand. The Washington Quarter Series is one of the most widely collected coin series in the world. Many collectors aim to build complete collections that include every year, mint mark, and known variety. When a rare variety like the 1981 large date P Mint mark appears, collectors often become very eager to obtain it for their collections. The auction market plays a major role in determining the final value of rare coins. When a rare coin appears at a major numismatic auction, collectors and investors from many different countries may participate in bidding. Each participant understands that opportunities to purchase rare coins are limited. As the bidding continues, the price can rise significantly. Under the right conditions, a rare coin like this can reach an estimated value of $240,000. Next coin, the 1998 Washington quarter dollar with a large date and a P Mint mark. At first glance, this coin may look like an ordinary 25-cent coin that has passed through countless hands in everyday transactions. It may have been used for small purchases, placed in vending machines, or left forgotten in a jar of spare change. However, for collectors and numismatists, this particular coin can represent an extraordinary discovery. Even in circulated scratches fine condition, the 1998 Washington quarter with the large date and P Mint mark can reach an estimated value of $180,000 in today's auction market. The Washington quarter has a long and important place in United States coin history. The coin was first introduced in 1932 to honor the 200th anniversary of the birth of George Washington. The design quickly became one of the most recognizable images in American currency. On the front side of the coin, which is known as the obverse, there is a portrait of George Washington facing left. The portrait captures a calm and confident expression that symbolizes leadership and stability. Above the portrait appears the word liberty, while the phrase "In God We Trust" is placed to the left side of the portrait. At the bottom of the coin, the date indicates the year of production. The reverse side of the Washington quarter features a powerful eagle with its wings spread wide. The eagle holds arrows and olive branches in its claws, representing the strength and peace of the United States. Around the eagle appear the words United States of America and quarter dollar. For many decades, this design remained unchanged and became familiar to millions of Americans who used the coin in their everyday lives. By the time the year 1998 arrived, the Washington quarter had already been circulating for more than 60 years. Billions of quarters had been minted and used across the country. They were essential for vending machines, parking meters, public transportation, laundromats, and many other everyday uses. Because of this constant circulation, most coins from that era show signs of wear from years of handling and movement. The 1998 Washington quarter with the P Mint mark was produced at the Philadelphia Mint. In earlier years, coins from the Philadelphia Mint often did not include a mint mark. But by the late 20th century, the Mint began using the letter P to identify coins struck there. On the Washington quarter, the P Mint mark appears near the date on the obverse side of the coin. Although the letter is small, it plays an important role in identifying the origin of the coin. One of the most interesting features of this coin is the large date variety. In coin collecting, the term large date refers to a version of a coin where the numbers in the year appear slightly bigger, thicker, or more widely spaced than the normal design. These differences can be extremely subtle and may not be immediately obvious to someone unfamiliar with coin varieties. However, experienced collectors carefully examine these details and understand how important they can be. To identify the large date variety on the 1998 Washington quarter, collectors look closely at the shape and size of the numbers in the date. The digits appear slightly taller and more prominent compared with standard versions of the coin. The spacing between the numbers may also appear wider. Many collectors use magnifying glasses or specialized coin tools to examine these details carefully and confirm the variety. The example of the coin we are discussing today is in circulated scratches fine condition. This means the coin has been used in everyday transactions and shows visible wear. Coins that circulate for many years often develop scratches, marks, and smoother surfaces as they rub against other coins and objects. Despite these signs of wear, a coin in fine condition still retains most of its major design details. On the obverse side of this 1998 Washington quarter, the portrait of George Washington remains clearly visible, even though some of the finer hair details may be worn. The overall shape of the portrait and the facial features are still easy to recognize. The word liberty above the portrait and the phrase "In God We Trust" remain readable. Most importantly, the date 1998 and the P Mint mark can still be seen clearly enough to identify the coin. The reverse side of the coin also continues to show the main elements of the original design. The eagle with its wings spread wide remains recognizable, even if some of the feather details appear softer because of circulation wear. The arrows and olive branches held by the eagle are still visible, and the inscriptions United States of America and quarter dollar remain readable along the outer edge. One of the primary reasons this coin can reach such a remarkable value of $180,000 is rarity. Although millions of Washington quarters were minted in 1998, only a small portion belonged to the large date variety with the P Mint mark. Over time, many coins were lost, damaged, or worn down beyond recognition. Others may still exist but remain unnoticed in old collections or containers of spare change. Another important factor that increases the value of this coin is collector demand. The Washington Quarter series is one of the most widely collected coin series in the world. Many collectors attempt to complete sets that include every year, mint mark, and known variety. When a rare variety like the 1998 large date P Mint mark coin appears, collectors often compete strongly to obtain it. The auction market is where the true value of rare coins is often revealed. When a coin like this appears in a major coin auction, collectors and investors from around the world may participate in bidding. Each participant understands that opportunities to acquire rare coins are limited. As bidding continues, the price can increase rapidly. Under the right conditions, a rare coin like this can reach an estimated value of $180,000.